Hey folks, it's Brad LeDrew at Western GM in Drumheller, Alberta, Canada, and today we're looking at our very first 2021 GMC Yukon, all new, redesigned from the ground up, with all kinds of cool things to talk about, and more room. It's taller, it's longer, all that sort of stuff. But it is October in Canada, and you can see there's a little bit of the white stuff flying. So I apologize if my hand starts to shake a little bit. It's going to be a little bit cold. But let's do a quick overview. So if you're not familiar with the Yukon's available in an SLE, an SLT shown here. That's what we're reviewing today. And also the AT4, which is the off-road version, and the top dog, the Denali. Now, the Yukon's got a lot of awesome things going for it. You've got best-in-class engine choices, best-in-class fuel economy, and best-in-class horsepower. And so that all has to do with, of course, engines. So let's go ahead. Sometimes the snow here affects the how my camera focuses, so hopefully that works out. So you can see right here, you're just going to put your finger in here, slide to the right and push up. I love that we've got the struts now instead of the old, right? Looks nice. So first off, when you talk about engines, of course, you've got the outgoing 5.3 liter Ecotec 3, which is direct injected variable valve timing V8 with dynamic fuel management. And it's got 355 horsepower, 383 foot-pounds of torque. And you can see right there, it tells us our engine. So if you're looking at one of these, you're not sure what engine you're in, that's how you can check right here on your airbox. Then you've got your big boy, the 6.2 liter Ecotec 3 direct injected variable valve timing V8, 420 horse, 460 foot-pounds of torque. And then you've got the best in class, and that's the best in class horsepower. And then you've got the best in class fuel economy, which is the 3.0 liter Duramax. We call it the baby Duramax, the inline 6 turbo diesel, 277 horsepower. And this is the big boy, 460 foot-pounds of torque at only 1,250 RPM. And it gets a crazy 32 miles per gallon. And I should say, the Tahoe Suburban of this same engine actually has like 0.5 better fuel economy, but that's why it's called best in class for all three. But there you go. And of course, they're all paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. So there's lots to talk about. Let's close that up. So first off, the front end of the SLE and the SLT will look like this. And when you go to the AT4, that's the off-road version with a 2-inch lift and whatnot, and it'll have a different lower grille with a skid plate, a silver skid plate in under. And when you go to the top dog, the Denali, you get exclusive grille, a more bold, distinctive exterior design, and an exclusive interior that no other Yukon has. Everything's LEDs in the front of this, including daytime running lights. Here in Canada, you got your high beams, your low beams, and of course your fog lights as well. Just giving you some good angles on this bad boy. This is the built-in board. Depending on your trim level, like the Denali, a lot of people choose the power running boards, power retractable. Here in Canada, we get a lot of snow and slush that builds up. So a lot of people on grid roads, gravel roads, really don't want the power boards because they'll get stuck. But again, that's really just a Canada issue, not really anywhere else. But I personally like the fixed board. You can see you've got a really nice 20-inch wheel here. The SLE comes standard with 18s and an alloy like this as well. Or you can pony up for the 20s when you go to the SLT. The AT4 and the Denali have exclusive wheels. And in fact, in the Denali, they come standard with 20, exclusive 20-inch wheel. And then if you go to the Denali Ultimate, you get an exclusive 22-inch Denali only wheel. And of course, with the AT4 being off-road model, it comes with your Duratrax 10-ply tires, as opposed to a nice, quiet, all-season tire like this one here. Okay, let's move on around to the back here. And you know what? It's one of the cool things to talk about, or one of the big things with this all-new redesigned Yukon is the rear suspension. So I'm going to get a little dirty here. It's not that wet yet. It's only just starting to start to snow. It'll probably be full-on gale force winds when I do the Yukon XL after this one. But so now you've got an all-new rear independent multi-link suspension with coil springs. When you go to the SLT like this one, you also get a premium ride suspension. And then if you go up to the AT4 or the Denali, you get magnetic ride control, and that's the new 4th generation magnetic ride control. And you have a segment exclusive, it's first in class, which is the AT4 and Denali has an optional adaptive air ride suspension that can rise up to 2 inches or lower 2 inches as well. So think about it if you're on the highway or if you're trailering, it'll level out your suspension. If you're on the highway, it'll squat the vehicle down for better fuel economy. And when you're off-roading and you go into 4 low, it'll rise the vehicle by 2 inches, so you have 2 inches more ground clearance. So pretty cool stuff. And let's get back up. Your trailering and all that stuff is in behind this panel here. Very easy to access. And when I laid down in the dirt like that, I accidentally pushed the power lift gate. So I'm just going to show you this. We're just rolling with it. So of course you got the new modern key with the push button start like the old generation had as well, but it's lock, unlock, double tap for remote start, double tap for just the hatch, double tap for the glass, and you got the panic alarm. But of course, you've also got hands-free liftgate. So you're just gonna kick your foot there, up comes the liftgate, and now we've got more room back here than we ever had before. So in the old generation, this has gone up to 22.5 cubic feet behind the 3rd row. So you've got a huge amount of storage. And then if you fold down these seats flat, okay, now you're talking 144 cubic feet of cargo capabilities with the 3rd and 2nd rows folded flat. You've got a little cubby hole down here for a little bit of storage as well. The SLT and higher come with the power folding seats. So again, you can see here, we're just going to hold this. Down goes the power seat. And then if we push the next one, push it once, it folds down again perfectly flat. And if you push it a second time, you can see it flips up as well. Okay. You can see you've got your different car seat anchors as well. But this is important. People buy these vehicles because they want room for their family. They're traveling for hockey and sports and stuff like that. So first off, if this was the lower trim level, the SLE, okay, if you look back here, you've got a little tether. If you pull on that tether once, you can see the seat flips and folds down. Pull on that tether a second time, and that seat articulates up. So now you can see there's a pile of room. I can get straight in here. There's no big wheel well arch that's making this like super narrow where you've only got like the width of 1 foot. There's so much room, and it's easy to get into. Shoulder wise, I can go straight in, 6 foot 260. Now, when you go to the SLT like this one and the higher trim levels, I'm going to just go back here. There's a little button. So if you push that button once, it flips and folds the seat. Push the button a second time, and that seat articulates up. So again, you get that on the higher trim levels. But again, this is important. I've got that front driver's seat set perfectly for me right now. So I'm going to set. So here we go. We got lots of leg room, piles of knee room, 8 fingers of knee room for me, big fingers. And you can see, let's go to the back seat here. You've now got 10.1 inches more leg and knee room than the old generation. So what that translates into, even with this seat here, I've got it moved back, not ahead. I still have pretty much 4 fingers of knee room back here in this regular Yukon. If this was the XL, you have even more room back here. And again, my feet go in under the seat here really comfortably. And again, you can see there's that button. Push it once and push it a second time, and now it's super easy for me to get out. Okay, even back here you can see you got a really big, comfortable armrest, cup holder, fast charging USB-C as well, and you've got piles of head and shoulder room. And in fact, you've got more head and shoulder room than any other vehicle in class, more 3rd and 2nd row room than any other vehicle in class as well. So absolutely love this. Gonna get out. let's just give you a quick. You can see here you've got the heated rear seats, your automatic climate control, and if you had your DVD unit with your DVD headrests as well, you'd have some controls or headphones and stuff that you could plug in down here. But again, you can see fast charging USB, old style, just a regular plug in here as well. And you can see that handle. So you've also got you pull this up to slide it forwards and backwards, and you pull this, right? And that's another way to flip and fold that seat. So this one is for the third row people, and this one here you can use for if you're in the second row, you just want to quickly get in. So moving on around to the front here. So taking a look at the driver's side door, you can see we've got a lot of nice, comfortable, soft touch materials with the metal. When you go to the AT4 in Denali, you get a different trim in this as well. So this door and these seats will look different. They will have AT4 or Denali stitched right in the seat here as well. But just going back, you can see this is nice soft touch materials. Again, nice stitching, and then again the contrast with the perforated leather here as well. Cubby holes and storages all over the place. You've got, again, a lot of chrome. I love the Bose premium audio system that comes in the SLTs and higher. It's a 9-speaker premium audio system, or a 14 if you go to the Denali. Okay, and again, SLT, you get your 10-way power driver's and passenger seat with a power memory setting as well. The SLE, you still get a power driver's seat, you just don't get one for the passenger. Now, very quickly, my hands are getting very cold. The wind is blowing. So maybe I'll close the door here. So very quickly, lots to talk about here, but so in these vehicles, you also have a new, actually when I was in the back, I didn't even talk about the new differential. Obviously, with it being a fully independent suspension, you don't have that big G80 auto-locking rear differential. It's now a G86. And if it's an SLE model, it's going to come with the automatic locking rear differential that's mechanical. And then when you go into this model here with the 4-low option, so again, a 2-speed transfer case, and if you watch one of my truck videos, you'd know. So you have auto 4x4, you've got 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low. That means it's a 2-speed transfer case. If it was a single speed, right here you'd have an all-terrain mode, and all-terrain is great. It does a lot of things that 4 low won't, like hold back your throttle so you don't slide ahead or roll backwards and things like that, and hold your brakes. But it's not a true 4 low, but it does some things that 4 low doesn't. So if you've owned a Tahoe or something like that before and you used 4 low quite a bit, obviously make sure you get a model that has the 4 low. Otherwise, it's going to have the all-terrain mode. But again, paired with when you go to this 2-speed, you get an automatic electronic rear differential, and so that will transfer power around as it sees fit for the best possible traction. Now you've got your lane keep assist with lane departure warning, your front and rear park assist sensors, traction control stability control button here. You've got you can see auto start stop, and again, if you push that button, you can turn off the auto stop. I personally have it in my vehicle. I do not mind auto start stop, but again, some people, they don't like the vehicle turning off, and it is what it is. That enables the power plugins. We're in Canada, it's getting cold for winter here. Heated steering wheel, everybody loves, and again, standard on the SLT. And then you've got the forward collision alert with pedestrian braking, and you can adjust your gap on that as well. You can see, of course, we got push button start, and with that 10-speed automatic transmission, you've got this electronic controller for it, which I love. And again, continuing with that nice perforated leather, again, the soft touch material up here with the stitching and that chrome and full wood across, looks really sharp, looks really nice and upscale. But, just to show you real quick, so let's say we're in drive, you can see D there, and let's say you're not familiar with one of these electronic transmissions. Pretty straightforward. We start moving ahead here, and if you open up the driver's door, right, it thinks that somebody's trying to get out of the vehicle or the vehicle is rolling, so it puts it back into park and sets your emergency brake as well. You can also use the low function here and drive this in a plus-minus fashion as well, a fashion which would be like controlling it as a manual transmission. So pretty neat stuff as well. moving on down, not to take too much more time here. We've got the heated leather seats with 3 levels of heat for back and bum, just back, and then the cooled seats as well. Again, this is on the SLT, AT4 and higher. Of course, you're going to have all those options. USB-C, USB, and also a power outlet as well. You can see we've got a very big pad down here for the newer modern phones when it comes to charging. In the past, the old Tahoe Yukons had just a small pad that would fit like an iPhone 8 or XR size, and that's all. So now you can fit the oversized phones down here as well, unless they're going to be the size of an Apple iPad mini, I guess, which is possible. They might make something super huge again in the future for a phone. But for now, that's awesome. Again, very large, class-leading center console and storage here as well. You've got USB-C in here, USB and SD card for music, tunes, maps, for your navigation, all that stuff. And then you go into, everybody loves the GM infotainment systems because they're so easy to use. So you can just slide across to your split screen display. This is a new class-leading 10.2-inch display, high definition as well. You can see how easy it is to slide around. We can touch our climate control here, hit the home button, touch a camera, the surround vision cameras with class-leading 9 cameras in the Yukon Tahoes as well. And I mean, that's the forward camera. That's the back camera. Let's say you want to go right to your hitch, that's straight down, and if the hitch cover was removed and you had a ball attached, then you'd also, your receiver and ball, you'd be able to back straight up to a trailer, no problem. And even when you're driving, you can touch the camera button here, and it'll count down from 8 seconds, and you can see your trailer behind you as you're driving. So again, you've got a home button right here, and you've got a home button there. They do the same things. So if you hit the home button, it'll go to this screen or this screen. And that's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. And one of the last things here, everybody loves that the GM vehicle since 2017 has had Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, almost every single one of our vehicles. But now the new Yukon Tahoes have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto that's wireless. So you don't need a wire plugged in anymore to do that. It's wireless. So again, you have your phone Bluetooth paired, and this screen, this big screen, becomes your iPhone with your maps, with your messages, with your audiobooks, with your waypoints that you have set, and all those sort of different apps that work will now look like this big screen. Or if you're an Android phone, your Android phone will be on this screen and all the apps that work. So you get that familiarity that you're already used to, which is awesome that GM does that. But I already showed you how easy the GM system is to use. One of the other things that people have loved about GM vehicles, since 2014, we've had 4G LTE Wi-Fi in our vehicles with Wi-Fi hotspot. So that's an OnStar function. So OnStar nowadays is 3 things. It's your 4G LTE Wi-Fi. It's the ability to have this SOS function. So heaven forbid your airbags go off and you're an active subscriber, they will call your vehicle and say, are you okay? Is everything fine? And if you don't respond, they'll call the emergency services right to your location GPS-wise. If your vehicle gets stolen, it has vehicle theft alert, and it'll slow down and turn off your vehicle. Law enforcement agencies use that all the time. And then the third thing OnStar is to control everything with your phone. So you can unlock your doors, start the vehicle, you can set off the alarm, check your fuel levels. If it was a diesel, check your DEF fluid levels. All those things all from your phone. Test your trailer lights from your trailer with your phone. So there's all kinds of things you can do with your phone. Then that's the third part of OnStar as well. So pretty straightforward, and hopefully the camera focuses well here. So again, SLT and hires have your home link garage door openers. You've got your seats that you can power flip and fold here in the center seats. You can see we've got the sunshade, sunroof, and the tilt on the sunroof. And also you've got right here the power liftgate. So the hatch you can set to 3/4. I've said this in the past. Normally the hatch opens past the body. If you want it open level with the body because you're in an underground parkade or whatnot and you don't want to scratch the liftgate, you'd set it to 3/4. And you can see we've got the all-new huge panoramic sunroof as well. Let's just pop on out. Just move back a little ways here. There we go. Focus, baby. Come on. There you go. So the new Yukon Tahoe is bigger and taller than it used to be. So now the Yukon here is 210 inches long and 76.5 inches high. If this was the XL, they actually don't write XL on it like they used to, but as soon as you look at the back, you'll see that the back here is longer and the glass is longer as well, and it's quite it's noticeable because it's 15.2 inches longer. So it's pretty easy to see the difference between the Yukon and the Yukon XL. Yes, anybody, 15 inches is a lot. And that kind of concludes another one-take shoot here from Brad LeDrew at Western GM in Drumheller, Alberta, Canada.